Have you ever been in a situation where you went to watch a movie in theater and in between you realized that the movie is very boring and horrible? What did you do next? Did you walk out of the movie in middle or did you continue watching the movie because you have already paid for the ticket and you cannot get back that money? So if you continued watching the movie even though it was very boring, then you have fallen for the sunk cost fallacy. In this video, we are going to discuss what is sunk cost fallacy and how understanding this concept can change how you make your personal and financial decisions. Let's get started. So first, let's understand what are sunk costs. Sunk costs are those past costs which has already been occurred and cannot be retrieved. That is, you cannot get those costs back. Here the cost can be in terms of your time, money, energy or any other resources. In general, people should not consider sunk cost while making their decisions because the future events are independent of the past sunk cost. However, humans are emotional beings and unlike robots, we do not always make rational decisions. So let us understand sunk cost better with the help of a few examples. So the first example that I already gave you is the example when you went to watch a movie and it turned out to be very horrible and boring. Still you continue to watch that movie because you have paid for the ticket. Second example can be, let's say you bought some food and brought it home, and after bringing it home you realize that it's not that good or it's not that healthy. However, you continued eating it and completed whole of the food just because you have already bought it and you do not want your money to get wasted. The third example, it can be similar to the second one. Let's say you went to a restaurant, ordered a very big large pizza, and in halfway you realize that you cannot completely eat the entire pizza on your own. Here eating the complete pizza may be unhealthy for you and even make you fat in future, but still you ate all the complete pizza because you have paid for the cost and it cannot be retrieved. Fourth example can be, let's say you started a business and you have been continuously pouring more energy and more money for in it for the last 2 years. So in the last 2 years, let's say you have invested rupees 10 lakh in that business. However, now you are realizing that the business is not profitable and you cannot see any future potential in that business. Now here all the things that you have done in the past can be considered as sunk cost because the time or energy that you have contributed in your business cannot be retrieved, and here you should look for the future. What's the best for your future? Fifth example is a very common example. Let's say you are pursuing a degree or a diploma in a college or university, and after completing 2 years, you realize that it's not something that you want to do, or you are not interested in pursuing that degree. However, since you have paid for the 2 years tuition fee or you have devoted energy and time for the last 2 years, you are not able to decide whether you should could drop and move to another career or or you should stick with it. Now only a very minority population understands the concepts of sunk cost, and hence a very small portion of people drops out from the college when they see a better opportunity in a startup or having a better career or having a new career. However, most of the people fall in the sunk cost fallacy and they are never able to change their career or they are never able to drop out from the college. Now the sixth example, it's again a very common one. It can be a bad relationship or a bad marriage. Now many people continue having a bad relationship because they realize that they have already invested their past 2 or 3 years or more years in that relationship, and they do not want that time that they have already invested to get wasted. Similarly, in a marriage, let's say if a couple is married for the last 10 years or 15 years, then again it is their sunk cost, and they believe that all the times that invested in the last 15 years they cannot get it wasted. And even though if the couple is not happy in the relationship or in the marriage, they are not able to take a better decision for their future. They are not able to split up because they do not understand the concept of sunk cost, and they fall in that fallacy. So these are few examples of sunk cost fallacy. Now let me also give an example from my personal life. So I am from engineering background and I have a electrical engineering degree from National Institute of Technology NIT Warangal. So I have devoted a lot of time during my IIT JEE and AIEEE exam to get into NIT Warangal, And after that also, I've done a lot of projects, I've done a lot of internships during my engineering college, and even after getting into work. Nevertheless, when I decided to move from my engineering background to finance or fintech, then all the things that I have done in the past, all the 7 years of experience, all the projects, all the internships, or all the money that I have invested in my tuition fee, college fees, all the hostel fees, everything here are sunk costs. So all those time, energy, money that I have invested, that I cannot recover, I cannot get it back. However, as I know the concept of sunk cost, I was able to make a better decision. I knew that I was more interested in finance and investing world. I was more passionate in this field, and I could do better in this industry if I switch my career from engineering to finance. Moreover, I found my future opportunities in the finance and investing field better than that of the engineering. So even though all the time that I have spent, all the money that I have invested in the past are, I cannot retrieve them, but I consider as sunk cost which cannot be retrieved, and hence I do not consider them while making my future decisions. So what exactly is sunk cost dilemma? Sunk cost dilemma is an emotional difficulty to decide whether you want to continue with the project or deal, or you want to move on and quit. Here the dilemma is that a person cannot easily walk away from the current project or their deal because they have already spent a lot of time and energy in the current project. On the other hand, pouring more energy, more time, more resources in the project which is not giving you desired result is also not a good idea. And therefore the sunk cost dilemma is the difficulty in deciding whether you want to continue or whether you want to quit from your current project. So the next thing is how sunk cost dilemma can affect your investment decisions, or how sunk cost dilemma affect the investors. Now I receive a lot of mails from TradeMan subscribers saying that they have lost rupees 10 lakh rupees or 15 lakh rupees in the past 2 years by involving in futures and options or derivatives, or even by doing random tradings. And in order to retrieve all those losses, they want to invest aggressively so that they can get back all that money within a year. However, if you think about this approach, in order to get back that much amount of ready, you have to take aggressive decisions which may be very risky for your portfolio, and many a time these decisions are not worth it. So here the dilemma is buying or investing in riskier or aggressive in stocks in order to get back the money which you have lost. However, those loss has already been incurred, and taking risky decisions or aggressive decisions won't do any good for your portfolio for future. As an intelligent investor, you should take the rational decision which is best for your future, or which has the best return potential and is also realistic. You should not choose an option which is unrealistic just because you want to cover up your losses. So sunk cost is also a very important concept to understand in the world of investments, and whenever you are making your investment decision, you should always consider what's best for you for your future, not any hypothetical decisions based on your past sunk costs. So let's quickly summarize what we discussed in this video. Nobody likes losing, and your past losses can definitely influence the future decisions that you make. However, as a rational investor or an intelligent investor, you should never consider sunk cost while making your investment decisions, as sunk costs are those costs which cannot be retrieved, cannot be recovered. An intelligent investor should ignore them and choose the best option which can be most profitable for them in future. So that's all for this video. I hope it was useful to you. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting investing videos. This is Kritesh signing off.